Hey everyone, in this video we're going to show how we can use Asana as the trigger step. And when we make a change with a card here and we add a tag in the card, it then will automatically send this email out through Gmail to the contact. Following on from my last video showing you how to add Asana to Zapier, connect it up, and then we used a trigger in HubSpot with a form submission to then use Zapier to create an Asana task or card in the customer feedback section. So we're going to follow on from that. So to make our life a little bit easier, we're going to change the way these cards are structured a little bit. We're going to add the email as a separate section. So we're going to add this into Asana. We're going to add email and we click create field. And then I'm going to just quickly grab these emails and put these over here. So this will make life a bit easier. I didn't want to spend time on that in the last video, but for this video, I'll do it quickly to show you, and we can remove these from the comments here. Cool. So now let's go back to the board view. So basically I want to drag this over to actioning or into the flow here. So let's say I drag it into actioning, and then I want to send an email. I want to trigger to automatically send this email out to that person, this person here. And so I'm going to use the trigger I'm going to use is I'm going to say when there's a tag. So I'm using the shortcut tab tag in Asana here. And I type in thanks. So whenever we use this tag called thanks, it's going to automatically trigger the email like this. So we grab that. Now let's go into, so we've got it here. So let's go into Zapier. And so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to use the AI feature in Zapier to sort of create the workflow structure. So when a tag is added to a task in Asana, then send an email in Gmail. Okay, notify via email when a tag is added in Asana. Okay, let's try. So we add the account, workspace, thanks tag. Now I have a few here that I created from before, so I probably should have just used the one I already had. But in order to not get confused, we've got 998 and we've got 003. Let's jump back into Asana and let's have a look at that tag. Go to the tag here. Okay, 003. That's the one we should be choosing. There we go. Continue. Test trigger. Great. And we've got our tasks. So it should be this one here. Can you offer dark mode? Let's do a search for dark. Can you offer dark mode? Okay, great. So here's our trigger. And then we want to send the email. So here we go. We choose our account again. Continue. We're going to address the email to the contact who submitted the feedback. So we know that contact email address is this one. So let's just copy that over. Great. And we can see that we've got these two values. We can select either of them. And we're going to say from my email. We can fill in the rest of these details here, but I'm going to just skip it for the sake of time. Pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to grab this subject, drop that in. I'm going to use HTML as my type. So I can add in line breaks and everything. Put that in. Like that. I'm going to add some HTML codes for the line breaks. I'm just going to do some pretty raw code here. And as you can see here, we've got the spot for the first name, but in our cards, we don't actually have a first name here. So that means we can't add the first name in from this. We would need to do a search in HubSpot to pull that name out and then send to that. So if you want the first name, let me go through that in another video because that takes a few extra steps. And I want to keep this simple. So in this case, I'm going to write the email that doesn't have a first name, but I would suggest in future cases, you should always try and include the first name, but I will still say hello. There we go. And we're going to add the feedback text here like this. So we can look at that like that. There we go. Okay. And the rest I can leave as is. So let's do a test. Oh, we don't want to do a test step quite yet, because I want to do a test step with my email address just to be safe. So let's say team@terrific Okay, let's have a look at that. Here's the email. So I've got hello, etc., etc. There's the code like that. So it looks good. So then when that's ready, we can go back and change that to information and add the email address like this. And then we can publish. Now, if you were concerned about this email being sent automatically and you wanted to double check the email, the other option is to change this to a draft. Instead of sending an email automatically, you could instead get it to create a draft. And then you would just have the email content the same here, and then it would just save as a draft. And then you just have to go into your inbox, go to the drafts folder, and then send the emails from there. And you could always make changes to them if they weren't correct. So that can be a good backup. It takes a bit more effort each time you want to send an email, but at least you can review the emails before sending them as well. And that's it. So I hope that's been useful. Let me know if you have any feedback, questions, anything else you want to cover in any of these sort of instructional videos. I'd love to create more of them that are relevant to you. So please feel free to comment with any questions or any other feedback. If this video has been useful and you want to see more videos like this, please feel free to subscribe, like the video, and look forward to seeing you in the next one. Okay, thank you so much. Cheers.